Now let me draw a unit circle in the whiteboard. So this is the 1, 0. This is 0, 1. And this is -1, 0. And this is 0, -1. Now, let's try to find the sine and the cosine values of the multiple of 90 degrees. So first, what is the sine of the 90 degrees? What is the value of this guy? Remember, the sine is the y-coordinate of the point of intersection, right? So now, the terminal side of the 90 degrees is the positive y-axis. So this is a point of intersection, right? And the y-coordinate is 1. So the sine of 90 degrees is equal to 1. Right? Now, how about the cosine of the 90 degrees? 0, right? Because the x-coordinate of the point of intersection of the terminal side of 90 degrees with the unit circle is 0. So cosine of alpha is defined as the x-coordinate, right? So right now the x-coordinate is 0, so this cosine of 90 degrees is equal to 0. Now, how about the sine of 180 degrees? 0, right? You see, 180 degrees is straight angle, and its terminal side is negative x-axis. So the point of intersection is here, and its y-coordinate is 0, right? So this sine of the 180 degrees is equal to 0. Then how about the cosine of the 180 degrees? -1, right? See here, this x-coordinate is equal to -1, and we define cosine alpha as the x-coordinate of the point of intersection. So cosine of 180 degrees is equal to -1. A special case, how about sine of 0 degree? Zero. You see, both initial side and the terminal side are the positive x-axis, right? So right now, this terminal side intersects this unit circle at this point with the y-coordinate equal to 0. So sine of the 0 degree, which is the y-coordinate of this point of intersection, so this sine of the 0 degree is equal to 0. Then how about the cosine of the 0 degree? Positive 1 or -1? Positive, right? Positive 1. Okay. Now let's look at the sine of 3 pi over 2. We know 3 pi over 2, this is the 270 degrees, right? How much? -1, right? Because 3 pi over 2 is this angle. So the point of intersection is the 0 and -1. So the y-coordinate is equal to -1. So the sine of the 3 pi over 2 is equal to -1. And how about the cosine of 3 pi over 2? 0, right? Because the x-coordinate is equal to 0. So cosine of the 270 degrees is equal to 0. Then how about the sine of the 360 degrees? You see, one revolution, and finally, you just arrive at the start point, right? So the y coordinate is 0. So sine of the 360 degrees is equal to 0. Now, let's look at some sine and cosine of negative angles. So how about the sine of negative pi over 2? Zero, 1, or negative 1. You see, negative pi over 2 is this angle. Let me use the color. Right, this is the negative pi over 2. So the point of intersection is here. And the y coordinate is negative 1. So sine of the negative pi over 2 is equal to negative 1. Then how about the sine of the negative 5 pi over 2? So if you cannot immediately see the result, you may first rewrite this angle as the multiple of the 360 or the 2 pi plus another angle, right, which is between the 0 and the 2 pi. So right now, actually, we may rewrite this as the negative pi over 2 and minus 2 pi, right? 5 pi over 2 equal to pi over 2 plus 2 pi. So negative 5 pi over 2 is equal to negative pi over 2 minus 2 pi. So actually, this guy is just, you first rotate clockwise 1 revolution, right? And then followed by another pi over 2. So same as the negative pi over 2, right? So for this guy, the sine of the negative 5 pi over 2 is equal to negative 1. Okay? Then how about the cosine of negative pi over 2? 0, right? See, the x coordinate is 0. And the cosine of negative 5 pi over 2 equal to what? Still 0, right? See here, still 0. You need to get yourself familiar with all those sine and cosine values of all these common used angles, the multiple of the 90 degrees. Now let's look at the sine and cosine of a multiple of 45 degrees. Now let's look at this graph. And this is angle of 45 degrees. And we can extend this tangent side in this direction so that we can get a line. And we know this line, its equation is the y equal to x. On this line, the y coordinate is equal to the x coordinate, right? So now we can write out the equation of this line. That is the y equal to x, right? And at the same time, we know the coordinates of the point of intersection also satisfy the equation of this unit circle. So let's go to the whiteboard.